What is up, Insaners, and welcome to another interesting episode where we'll be going through the top 3 wildcard drafts for Game Week 18. Right now, we really don't know if Villa will be playing next week or even have a double game week, so we'll be talking about some alternate picks in case Villa vs Spurs game is called off. There's a lot of debate in terms of what chips to use, so we'll start by discussing why do we need to use a wildcard and have a basic structure in place before we get on to building the drafts. Do watch the whole video if you want to know about the wildcard strategy and all the drafts. In case you want to watch something specific, we've given the timestamps in the description. Those should help you with all the relevant sections. Do give a thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe to our channel Insanely Football if you're liking our FPL content, and don't forget to hit the bell icon if you want to get notified of our coming videos. Right, so we'll start with the basics first. What is a wildcard and why do we need to use it now? A wildcard allows you to make unlimited free transfers throughout a game week. Playing a wildcard will remove any points deduction from transfers already made in the same game week. You play a wildcard when you want to make multiple changes to your team, for example game weeks when teams are playing more than once, or even when your team is underperforming or has a lot of injuries. There are certain cases where you can play the wildcard. Now things have changed a lot recently with matches being called off because of COVID, earlier postponed fixtures of Man City and Man United now rearranged in game week 18 and 19. A lot of managers are going for players from these teams even in their free hit teams, but unless you already have double and triple ups from these teams, you would ideally want them in your team considering their favourable run of fixtures. So rather than making your free transfers or taking hits every week, you can use your wildcard and get them straight away. The chances are, if you use your wildcard late, let's say in game week 16, you might have Man City and Man United players, but for people who wildcarded very early, this might be a suitable chip to use if you feel your team is not perfect. Now a downside to this is that you would have already used your wildcard chip with almost half of the season remaining, and the way things stand, there will be a blank game week in game week 29, and because of that, we can expect to have a double game week in game week 26. Now a lot of you might ask, why is this happening? Game week 29 will be a blank for teams who progress in the FA Cup along with their opponents in the Premier League. So typically their fixtures will be rearranged in some other week. Now mostly it will be game week 26. This again is not confirmed right now and might change in the future, so that is another unknown. The EFL Cup final between Tottenham and Man City will be played in game week 33, so their fixtures will also be rearranged in some other week, and that is possibly another double game week for these clubs. Now coming to the wildcard team structure, obviously when you're using your wildcard, you should remain within your current budget. There's no unlimited budget and it really depends on your team value and money remaining in the bank. The value available won't be 100 million like it was in the beginning. It would have increased with certain players increasing in price over the season so far. So when you're planning your wildcard, the strategy should be made keeping in mind at least the next 5 to 6 weeks. You would like to go for players who have a good run of fixtures. In this case, it is Man United, Man City, Arsenal and Aston Villa players, and there are some really good premium and budget options from these clubs. Now with the recent COVID outbreak at Aston Villa, things will change a bit, and we'll also talk about some alternate picks from Leicester, Chelsea and West Ham. Considering Spurs' slightly tough run of fixtures and Liverpool players struggling to provide returns, a lot of managers might not consider the likes of Kane, Son and Salah in their wildcard team. These are top players and you should definitely have a process and a plan around how and when you're going to get these players back in your team. You should also prepare your wildcard team in such a way that allows you to use your bench boost chip in game week 19. You can build a team of at least 11 players who play in game week 18 and ideally 15 players who play in game week 19 and play the bench boost accordingly. That will maximize your returns in both game weeks, giving you the best possible points and huge green arrows. Now coming to the first draft, a point to note here is that we've made this before the Villa and Spurs game is officially called off, so it might include a couple of players from there. Martinez and Meslier are two goalkeepers in this draft. Martinez has been the best option in terms of FPL points. He leads the goalkeepers list, having played one less game than the others. He gives all the FPL managers clean sheets with 8 so far, makes decent saves and gets those save points along with bonus points as well. Meslier, the Leeds keeper, is one of the best value options if you're saving some cash and you're also focusing on bench boosting in the double game week. Some alternate keeper options include Leno if you're not tripling up on Arsenal players. Darlow is another option who might not give you a lot of clean sheets but definitely makes a lot of saves, so good value in terms of save points there. Now in terms of our defense, we've gone ahead with the City double up in defense based on our team value. This one includes Stones and Diaz. Stones is still the cheapest entry into the Man City defense. He's been brilliant and scored against United in the EFL Cup semi-final. The other option is Stones' centre-back partner Ruben Diaz. Both have formed a formidable partnership, keeping 5 clean sheets in the last 7 games when played together. City have Brighton, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, West Brom, Sheffield United and Burnley in the next few games, and there's a huge potential for clean sheets. Rob Holding is our cheapest playing defender in this draft. He won't provide any attacking threat in most games, but can definitely keep a few clean sheets. Arsenal in fact have kept 2 in their last 3 games. Holding's ownership right now is around 4.5%, and he can be a huge differential for the next few weeks. Aaron Cresswell from West Ham is another player who has exceeded expectations this season. He's provided 6 assists so far, is on set pieces, and has also kept 6 clean sheets. A bit of an all-rounder there. An alternate strategy can be having Kieran Tierney and Soufal from the same teams in this draft if you have the extra 0.2 or 0.3 million in your bank. Both are more than suitable replacements with great potential for attacking returns and clean sheets. Harry Maguire is another pick that has not featured anywhere since the start of the season, but United definitely have the best run of fixtures, and Maguire partnering with Eric Bailly looks like a decent partnership. Maguire in particular has looked United's best defender and gives that additional attacking threat. A set of notable omissions from here are the Chelsea defenders, who were very prominent in the early part of the season but have faded away. They've only kept 1 clean sheet in the last 7 games, and injuries to Chilwell and James have hit them hard. Chelsea are definitely going through a rough patch, and Lampard badly needs a win. With James hopefully returning in the game against Fulham, he can be a good option around the 5 million mark. Kurt Zouma and Chilwell are a couple of other options that you can go for. Coming to our midfield, the obvious options here are Bruno Fernandes and Kevin De Bruyne. These are definite must-haves for the next few game weeks. Bruno Fernandes is already shaping to be the Premier League player of the season. He has returned in 7 of his last 10 Premier League games, 11 goals and 8 assists so far, and these numbers are only gonna get better. Kevin De Bruyne, on the other hand, has struggled this year, but we are seeing shades of his brilliance. His numbers in the last few weeks have improved, and he's probably the best fixtures apart from Bruno Fernandes. He's got 3 double-digit returns in the last 7 weeks and looks good for the double game week in game week 19. Another player that has been key for Man United is Marcus Rashford. He sits just outside the top 5 in terms of fantasy points for midfielders. He only has 12.5% ownership and makes for a good double up on the United attack. 4 of his 7 goals in the league have come in the last 5 games, and with a good run of fixtures, he can be a good premium differential in your squad. Jack Grealish is a pick that might change, but we've kept him for now. He has been superb this season and tops the list for most chances created in the last 4 game weeks among all midfielders. He started playing a bit deep, and as a result is creating a lot of chances for El Ghazi, Traore and Ollie Watkins. A cheaper alternative here can be El Ghazi, who's not anywhere close to Grealish in terms of creativity, but provides a decent goal threat. He has the highest number of shots on target in the last 4 games and has scored 4 goals in the same period. Thomas Souček completes a 5 across midfield. He has been overlooked by a lot of FPL managers this season. With a little more than 10% ownership, most of the managers have used him as a bench player, playing the premium options and losing out on his points. He scored 4 goals in his last 7 matches and some really crucial ones for West Ham. With the double game week coming up, he's another high value option to have in your squad right now. Our current team did not allow, but Saka from Arsenal can be a great option in midfield. He's combined well with Lacazette in attack and Kieran Tierney in defense, and has completely turned around Arsenal in the last 3 game weeks. 2 goals and 2 assists in those games for the versatile midfielder have put him as a must-have player for the next few weeks. His value is a surprising 5.3, and in spite of not having a double game week in game week 19, definitely worth having in your team till game week 24. Our attack does not have a premium option in Harry Kane, Jamie Vardy. We've gone ahead with 3 cheaper options in Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Callum Wilson and Patrick Bamford. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has not scored in the last 5 games, but has been directly involved in 15 of the 26 goals Everton have scored in the Premier League this season. Now, Everton don't have the easiest runs, but if they're able to get Richarlison and Rodriguez to play together with him, there are chances that DCL can score more. Callum Wilson, like Calvert-Lewin, has been Newcastle's standout pick. He scored 8 goals and provided 4 assists and single-handedly carried Newcastle this season. With some decent fixtures coming up, Wilson will surely look to get on the score sheet and add to his goal tally for the season. Patrick Bamford has been the most effective forward in terms of the overall value this FPL season. Leeds have looked brilliant in attack, and Bamford has been both a scorer and a provider with 15 goal involvement so far this season. Leeds is a team that can score against anyone, so there are high chances of Bamford scoring more, especially in the double game week against Brighton and Southampton. Now you might think that we've missed one of the biggest players in the FPL this season and in the recent years, Mohamed Salah. He doesn't play in game week 18, but that doesn't mean that we can't pick him for a wildcard draft. We've made this next draft with Mohamed Salah. This alternate draft has a few changes, starting with defense. We've gone ahead with Joao Cancelo instead of Diaz. Cancelo provides a higher ceiling in terms of attacking returns as compared to Diaz. He spends a lot of time in attack, taking good positions and creating chances. Can't say he's still 100% nailed on with Kyle Walker in the mix, but the upside with Cancelo is huge and it's a risk definitely worth taking. To accommodate changes in our midfield, we can't afford Cresswell now, so we've gone ahead with Soufal from West Ham. He has 4 clean sheets to his name along with 3 assists, decent numbers for someone around his value of 4.7 million. Mainly to accommodate Salah, we had to sacrifice a double up with Marcus Rashford, giving way to Mo Salah. Salah has blanked in the last 3 game weeks now, but you can never rule him out. Before this particular dry spell, he had 5 goals and 2 assists in the 4 games that he played, and it's a huge gamble not having him in your squad. Our 5th midfielder here is Jack Harrison from Leeds United. He's been a great provider for the likes of Bamford this season, crossing 23 times and creating 7 chances in his last 4 games. There are a lot of options that one can go for at this price. You can switch to Rafinha from Leeds, who's also looked dangerous in attack. You can go for Saka from Arsenal or stick to Souček from West Ham. All of them are really good options as your 5th midfielder. We also had to downgrade a bit in attack. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had to be transferred out and switched to Ole Watkins from Aston Villa. In case Watkins doesn't feature in Game Week 18, we can switch to Antonio from West Ham for an extra 0.1 million budget. With Sebastian Haller going to Ajax, there are chances that Antonio will start every game till they get a new forward in this transfer window. He might not last 90 minutes in every game, but he can be a huge differential in your wildcard squad. Another draft that we've created doesn't have Mohamed Salah to start with. This surely gives us the flexibility to upgrade Soufal to Aaron Cresswell. Rest of the defense is same as the previous draft. We again get Marcus Rashford back. The major difference in this draft is doubling on Arsenal players through Alexander Lacazette in attack. Lacazette has looked sharp for Arsenal, scoring 4 goals in his last 3 games and getting 27 FPL points. Only owned by 7% FPL managers right now, he can be another great differential option in your attack. Now, one concern that a lot of you might have would be the exclusion of Kane and Son from this draft. Tottenham attacking numbers, with the exception of the Leeds United game, have gone down. Jose Mourinho started sitting back after getting 1-0 leads in recent matches. That means Kane and Son might not get the same attacking returns as Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne or even Mohamed Salah. Having said that, a lot of you would still put your faith in both. Personally, we would prefer Son over the two, as switching from or to Rashford is also very easy. Getting in Kane is a lot harder and shifts the overall team balance a bit. A possible route is getting rid of Jack Grealish for a 5 to 5.5 midfielder and getting in Kane in place of a Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Lacazette from our earlier drafts. Tottenham though play Liverpool, Chelsea and Man City in their next 7 games. They also don't have a double game week and they might be a higher value elsewhere for the time being. Now, as with the free hit video that we made a couple of days back, you'll find a link of that video in the description below. We would recommend you to wait just a few hours before the deadline to make your final team. There might be more postponements on the way. Right now, we're not even sure whether the Aston Villa Spurs game is gonna go ahead. That'll be all for this video, guys. Hope this was helpful for you, especially for those of you who are planning to use their wildcard this week. Might not be a bad option. There's absolute no right or wrong here. It totally depends on how you see your team, what is your team value and the overall budget. These are just a few drafts that should be good for the next few game weeks. Let us know in the comments below if you agree with us or not. Would love to know your thoughts on your wildcard drafts. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to the Insanely Football channel as well. Be safe and I'll see you Insaners next time.